Hey, my name's Baines and I am on FrConventions. Yeah, it was great. I mean, my first day on set was in Lilith's apartment where I have kidnapped Clary and she wakes up. So it's not normal to shoot in chronological order, but I was very, very lucky that we got to shoot my first scene first. And it was incredible just walking onto the set and seeing how big it was and how beautifully detailed, and just the work of all the creative team behind the show, the costumes, the props. And I'd known Kat prior, and I knew Dom. So then I got to meet everybody else just kind of as the day unfolded, which was amazing. Yeah, definitely. Like, joining the show was terrifying because it does already have a pre-existing fan base, and myself, like, I have been a fan of books for a really long time, and books that have been adapted into TV and film, and so I know what it's like as a fan when you're watching something and it doesn't live up to the expectations of what it is like when it's on TV or film. So I really was stressing myself out a lot about trying to keep the fans happy and making sure that the character was something that felt representative of who he is in the books. So it was really terrifying, but I just at some point had to be like, okay, you have to do your best and see how it goes. Yeah, it was amazing. So when I auditioned for the show, they had given me fake sides, like fake audition scenes for a different character that didn't exist. And then when I booked the show, they told me, actually, you're going to be playing Jonathan Morgenstern in his true face. And I had already seen episodes of Shadowhunters because my friends were on the show. And I was like, no, there's already somebody playing that role. And they're like, yeah, you're going to play his original face. And I was like, no, I'm not. He's one of the best actors on the show. There's absolutely no way I'm going after him. And I was really lucky. I got to email with him before I shot and just checked in with him about, is there anything that he felt passionately about that he wanted me to kind of carry through, or if he had any advice. And he's such an incredible person, so he was very, very forthcoming and very lovely, and made it what could have been an awkward situation incredibly amazing. And I was nervous because I was like, do I reach out to him? Do I not reach out to him? And then I thought, I can't. If he doesn't want to respond, he doesn't have to. It's so interesting because a lot of people think that the villainous roles are going to be very fun. I personally don't like violence. So, like, even just watching violence, I don't like watching fail videos on YouTube. I don't like watching people get hurt. I don't like watching conflict. I don't even like watching reality TV when there's conflict on it. I like fast forward through Selling Sunset and just watch the properties. So when I have to do these roles where people are getting hurt, or I am hurting them, even though it's acting, it still feels like a horrible experience. But I did have fun with getting to kind of understand how Jonathan plays mind games, and obviously shooting in Paris was one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. I love France. I love Strasbourg, and I love the south of France. I love Paris. And just to be able to shoot here, like, my dream is to be an actor and be able to live out my dream in one of my favorite places, was a very intense pinch me moment. Yeah, it was great to work with Kat because, and it's funny, when I had auditioned for the show, we were talking to the casting directors, and I was like, actually, I know Kat and Dom. And so when I'd already booked the role, the showrunners took me out for lunch, and they were like, so do you actually know Kat and Dom, or is this like a Hollywood thing where you kind of know each other? And I was like, no, I know Dom. Like, Dom and I did a TV commercial together when we were 19. So I've known him for almost 20 years now. And Kat, I had known for years because we were supposed to do a film together and we'd kept in contact during that time. So it was amazing to get to work with my friends, but at the same time, there's like a certain element of acting with people you know that's really hard, because Dom is like, in the best possible way, a very unserious person in real life. He's a practical joker, he's sarcastic, he's all the great parts of comedy that I appreciate. But when he plays Jace, he becomes a very, very, very serious person. And it was really hard for me to keep a straight face sometimes when he would act. Kat, on the other hand, is closer to her character. She is still, outgoing and lovely, but she has a certain quality that Clary has as well. So working with her wasn't too much of a stretch from that, but working with Dom was like, we barely got through any scenes without laughing. It's so interesting because I had watched the show before I shot any of my episodes. So I had seen all of Lilith's, or not all of Lilith's stuff, but I had seen a lot of Lilith's stuff. And Anna Hopkins is just one of the most commanding actors I've ever worked with. And the way that she appears on screen is the way that she appears in real life, in the way that she has such a commanding presence. You're in a scene with her and you believe that she is the mother of all demons, like the way that she holds herself and she speaks. And so there were so many times where rather than two actors come up with a dynamic, it was more that I was just responding to her in who she was and how she played that character, and was, moderately terrified of her. It's really crazy, and with the cancellation, it was, behind the scenes, it was a contract situation. It was something that couldn't have been changed. It was, it had nothing to do with viewership. It had nothing to do with money. It was just about who owned the rights. And so it was really disheartening to obviously have the news of the cancellation, but at the same time, as us actors, we knew that like our hands were tied, there was nothing we could do, and the fans were doing these amazing things like hiring planes to circle the Netflix building, and we're getting billboards and bus ads, and I just wanted to reach out to them and say, like, I don't think it's gonna move it's not gonna help, like please just know that like there's nothing we can do at this point until the contract runs out, because it's a certain time. And so coming back to France and getting to do conventions anywhere, I've been really lucky to do them all around the world, from Australia, New Zealand, Spain, Italy, there's so many different places, the US, and getting to meet the fans is such a wonderful experience, but especially in France, because conventions are a little bit different here. They're a lot more fun. There's like different activities. It's not just like go and take a photo with this person and get an autograph with this person. It's play these games and have a selfie party, and so there's a lot of different events that make it a really fun experience.